Grasshopper Pie, and Other Poems. Grasshopper Pie. I'm Grandma's favorite helper. You should have seen her eyes when I brought 6 grasshoppers to make grasshopper pies. I knew she'd want a closer look. I opened up the lid. I think those hoppers got confused. They all hopped out and hid. One jumped in the pantry, and one jumped in the sink. One jumped into Grandma's cup and tried to take a drink. One went for the chocolate cake, another found the bread, another one liked Grandma. He jumped right on her head. Grandma sure loves grasshoppers, as I could plainly tell. Why, she got so excited, she gasped and nearly fell. I climbed across the counters and scaled the pantry wall. I hopped and jumped around the room till I had caught them all. And that's when Grandma told me, and my grandma never lies, there really are no grasshoppers inside grasshopper pies. I stood in shock and disbelief. The grasshoppers just sighed. Then Grandma told my grasshoppers to go and play outside. Then she took a pie crust, scooped in some mint ice cream, and made the best grasshopper pie, with me on Grandma's team. I'm Grandma's favorite helper. Next day, I came to bake. I brought a bag of marbles to make a marble cake. The Legend of Billy Ray Brown. This is the story of Billy Ray Brown, who legend is told was born upside down. Instead of a head where one usually goes, the doctor was greeted by 10 wiggly toes. When Billy Ray Brown learned to sit in a chair, he sat on his nose with his legs in the air, and he ate just like that from the day he could eat. He became quite a pro using spoons with his feet. When he learned how to stand, Billy stood on his head, and he slept with his toes on the pillows instead. At school, all the children would watch him with awe whenever young Billy would sit down to draw. He'd wiggle his rear, holding crayons with his knees, drawing upside-down pictures of houses and trees. Soon Billy was winning the school talent shows by plucking the banjo with only his toes. When he played Little League, his pa sat in the stand, shouting, "Run, Billy Ray! That's using your hands!" That boy was the pride of his father and mother, but fan number 1 was his own little brother. Whenever he'd go, Jimmy Joe would go too. And whatever he did, Jimmy Joe tried to do. But one night he heard Jimmy crying in bed. "Why am I so different?" His younger brother said. "You see, little Jimmy Joe walked with his feet, and when he sat down, put his tush on the seat." "That's what makes you you," said Billy Ray Brown, but his upside-up brother was still feeling down. Billy flipped Jimmy over. "See, in every frown is a bright shining smile just turned upside down." And to this very day, that's the cure for a frown. Just go stand on your head like Billy Ray Brown. Louis's sneezes. You will never meet an elephant as lovely as Louis. She wears a very lovely trunk that curls down to her knees, and she's really quite polite. She says thank you. She says please. But she never covers up her trunk when she has to sneeze. Her mama says, remember, but Louise will just forget. So if her trunk begins to twitch, beware, you might get wet. Her friends will all skedaddle when they hear a sniffle brewing. They hold their ears and scrunch their eyes each time she starts achooing. Achoo! Her sneezes echo far across the grassy plains. Achoo! They twirl zebras' tails and tangle lions' manes. One day she met a chimpanzee out selling some bananas. Achoo! It rained banana peels for days through the savannas. At recess time while jumping rope, she couldn't squelch a sneeze. Achoo! Her friends all landed in some weeping wattle trees. And though she said, excuse me, as politely as she could, I'm told Louise must now stay late each day at school for good. So whenever your nose tickles, please remember what to do. Learn a lesson from Louise and cover up when you achoo. The Tickle Monster. One day, my boring dad was snoring in his chair, but when I turned around, I found the Tickle Monster there. He chased me round the table, then I raced across the floor. But the Tickle Monster caught me just before I reached the door. With a tickle to the belly, and a tickle to the neck, and a tickle to the toes, I became a tickle rack. I wiggled and I giggled, but I couldn't jiggle free. When I tried to call for help, it came out hee hee hee. Then the Tickle Monster finished with a final tickle laugh. I was tangled like a pretzel and folded up in half. When I sat back up again, the monster wasn't there, just my daddy with his feet up, snoozing in his chair. An alien in my soup. An alien landed in my chicken soup. While slurping my noodles, I heard a bloop. He was a groupie and green and not too tall. His spaceship looked like a matzo ball. I watched him as he bubbled past, frightening the rice with his laser blast. I heard some squash squeak, "Rescue me! Someone call the cops!" cried the celery. "Surrender," said the alien, "to my delicious crime. I'm taking your planet, one bowl at a time." He sneered up at me. "No ifs, ands, or buts. Your world will be mine from soup to nuts." I realized right then it was all up to me. I had to rescue our whole galaxy. So I opened my mouth, gulped the big matzo ball, and ate up my soup, evil spaceman and all.